Buckler. And we're joined today by our good friends.
Jill Denitis playing Rudy Whitaker, Shifter Eldridge Knight.
And Joe O'Gorman playing Wrath, the Aasimar, Pact of the Tome, Warlock of the Great Old One. Thank you for joining us once again. If you are just tuning in for the very first time, Kelly and I post new videos every Thursday on our YouTube channel where we cover everything Dungeons & Dragons, including advice for players and guides for Dungeon Masters. Check it out at youtube.com/dungeon dudes. One word.
You can also join us on Tuesdays when we record the campaign live on Twitch. Check us out from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. You can also watch the video episodes of the show on YouTube, which again has no underscore.
And you can find the entire show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify.
Of course, don't forget to look at the links below for our Teespring store where you can find all of your favorite Dungeon Dudes t-shirts like Troll Killer, but also some amazing new ones like Way Bigger Than Ducks, The Desk Wardens, and Club Club. Or you can look at bit.ly/.
Just a bit of an announcement. The campaign will be taking a break next week, which is March 3rd, 2020. But our show will not be taking a break, as Kelly will be returning to run Monster of the Week once again. And our good friend Mitch will be joining in for that as well. So I will be off next week. Kelly will be running Monster of the Week. And then the following week, the second week in March, we'll be right back with the show. With that, let us return to the shadows.
Drakenheim is no more. For 15 years, we foolishly believed the madness and mayhem of that crumbling city was confined to the roof. Crept out of the shadow of Drakenheim into a world unprepared for such nightmares. Tales of strange magic, swirling haze, and unspeakable terrors echo through the villages and towns surrounding that accursed place. Now, the Dusk Wardens, a new band of heroes, are tasked with driving out the seeping tendrils of the spreading darkness before it takes root.
Welcome back to the shadows of Drakenheim. When last we left our heroes, they were still in the small village of Shadow, trying to get to the bottom of the strange happenings and secrets amongst the villagers there. Invading Linus, their contact at the Alchemist Academy, they drew out several attackers who tried to kidnap Wrath, who was posing as Linus. This led to a string of events that culminated in several of the villagers, including the town constable and members of the local militia, attempting to accost Linus in his cottage himself. Our heroes intervening, finding Linus unconscious and being beaten by the town guard, decided to first intervene and then kill him. So with the local constable and several prominent members of the local militia now meeting on the floor, our heroes are left with an interesting decision to make. Let's find out what they'll do next.
When we last left off, we had Linus over one of her shoulders, and we had one...
Before the situation went back end up, you had knocked unconscious one of the militiamen. However, the cook from the Goose and Goblin was also there, killed him, killed the constable.
Yes.
And you killed the blacksmith's sons as well.
Yes.
Well, Wrath did. He blew a hole in the one Eldritch Blast.
Yes.
Yeah.
I take full responsibility.
So we're trudging back to the elves' house, I believe, with these two bodies.
Yes.
Okay, so you are bringing the unconscious militiaman and the unconscious just line us back to the 2 L's. Yes.
I'm carrying him on my shoulders.
Or is there like a back way that we could cut through?
Again, you could take your time and trek along the outskirts of town. But unfortunately, to get to their cottage, it is along the lake itself, not far from the chapel of St. Irene, which is the Church of the Sacred Fire. So the last kind of leg of the journey, you will have to move through town.
To be fair, we killed most of the people that could see us.
It's true.
I assure you there are plenty more people who can see us, and I would rather not get into another fight.
We should move quickly and inconspicuous.
Yes, perhaps along the water.
Yeah,
So not draw attention.
that makes sense. Better move some of this. Toss down his throat, and I don't know what kind of effects that's gonna have on him, so we better give him deals quickly.
You okay, Carrie?
Carrying bales of hay bigger than this
pulls up the man's hair and looks at his face. He goes, I think this is the storekeeper's brother.
Might want to tie him up to make sure when he wakes, he doesn't cause no more trouble.
Perhaps blindfold him as well. If he wakes up and is still not of sound mind, he may suspect you. To the bottom of this. Mistakes were made this night.
Tell us what happened.
We planned an infiltration towards the Goose and Goblin. We had planned to gather information and hopefully find out not only the means of this, what could only be called mind control, but also the source of Linus's problems, his missing item. Rudy was able to come to my rescue. We had to make a very loud escape. I think several were damaged or killed in my...
On Linus to see if he was doing okay, and the militia and several other people were out there. We approached with stealth and with plans to subdue several of the members to aid Linus. Certain members of our party decided that subduing them was not good enough.
You were coming in with guns for as police not to do the same to us.
Just because somebody is stationed to kill you does not mean that it is right to kill them.
Well, I would have died if I hadn't taken those lives.
No, but now instead 2 young boys are dead, and we do not know if they were acting on their own accord.
They would have killed myself. They would have killed Rudy. They would have killed you. This is not the time to discuss the rules of war.
They would have killed us, but we could have still outdone them and taken them out non-lethally. I say that having just shot 2 men in the back. And I understand that this is something that has happened.
The point is, we need to lay low. There has been many casualties this evening, and we do not know if they are still looking for us. The word travels fast in this town for those who are under this effect.
Lauren turns to Donna with a very grave look on her face. She mutters something, and then she looks back at you, realizing you do speak well. But she's
healing. We are injured, and we did find clues.
Domino speaks. Whatever's happened, Linus has been implicated in it. The people we heard only a while ago cries going out around town, heading up towards the chapel, crying out for where he constable knows, and the militia was looking for Linus. Do you know if you would be implicated as well?
I feel like everybody that saw us is either in this room or dead. The only thing is, the people in the Goose and Goblin, we don't know what happened. They didn't see your face, they didn't see mine. But there could be survivors looking for Rudy. creatures that we have put together so far, whether or not we've made a mess of things in this town, lead us to that swamp. Perhaps it would be best if we maybe vacated the premises for a while anyway, so if everything is leading us to the swamp, it might be best that we go there and find out the cause of this. My hope is that whatever we find in that swamp results in us understanding what has happened in this town, that what has happened in this town is that we did not just kill people who were innocent and perhaps maybe they were transformed in some way or a replica of whatever former person they were. Maybe we'll find the people being held captive in the swamps that hard time coming to terms with the fact that I'm running through it without knowing if they deserve it or not.
This is first taste of hope.
Maybe you were a soldier in this case. It doesn't have to be true. Although what would I know? I've never been to war. But we're not at war, really.
We are against whatever force is controlling these people, whatever force is happening to this world. We are at war against it.
Soldiers are brash and are trained to murder. They're trained to kill the people who oppose them. We are investigators. We are investigating crimes that are being committed in this town. And until we have just cause, we can't go around chopping everybody's head off.
I do recall being shot in the chest. They tried to force an unknown substance, poison, into your comrade's mouth. Now, are you here to save yourself, or them, or us? Who do you value the most? I, for one, value myself above militia, who knows what they're getting into, what they signed up for, and if they are willing to use instruments to kill, they should know that they may be killing.
Rule number 77 is never use your skills against the innocent.
That is your rule. That is not mine.
We don't know if they were acting on their own behalf. If something else is controlling them, then they are innocent.
Then the thing that is controlling them will be punished accordingly.
But what is do you have any indication of where it is or what it's like? What might be there?
We don't know what might be there except the creatures that we faced in the basement, but all I know is that it seems that perhaps they were bringing people to the swamp and crossing them off a list of all the townsfolk.
There was also that potion they were trying to
Are the elves' names on
The elves' names are not on here, but the words those elves are.
and they're not crossed out?
They're not crossed out.
I fold back the piece of paper again. Are either of you two good discerning poisons?
I can tend to him now. I might be able to identify.
It might be poison, it might be something else. We don't know. Poison of the man than anything. Because what we saw on that list is that we assume that people have been given it and turned over somehow.
Yes, the poison might just be the means to get them into a place where they can be administered this other, how do you say it?
The cannibals.
Sentence. Yes. The Linus seems to be stricken with it, but this villager, he might have another level of control.
Lorwyn says, "Did anyone see you come here? Did anyone see you bring Linus here?
No. We were...
Not to our knowledge.
We can keep him here, but the other man, the shopkeeper's brother, not sure his name, but we can't keep him here, and we can't keep him here. We can't risk that. But in the meantime, we can tend your wounds, we can investigate this poison, and we'll help you figure out the next steps. Dorian adds, "It is dire that it has come to killing people who may be innocent. But we don't know what faces this yet. We don't know if these people are being controlled by some magic or compelled to become fanatics, if they are acting of this way of their own accord or not. Regardless of that, any of us dying, means none of them can be saved."
I agree. We need to keep ourselves alive until we can get to the bottom of it. Now, by all means, maybe we need to be less liberal with our we gotta stay surviving.
I understand,
Well,
Sir
I'm
Bob.
gonna turn off the stream soon, since
Perhaps
I
I'm just not comfortable with the way that we survived.
arrived at the
Tonight.
destination.
Wilhelm, we will get to the bottom of this. I do not wish to shed more blood. It is always a last resort. However, those boys beat me to the edge of my life. I don't think they were of their own mind.
Sure, I remember you yelling something very illegal when the wolves hit the chest.
We all show our true selves
like me.
when we
Sound
are
like
in
me.
that kind of danger. Be the reason
Didn't you inhale the blood of your enemies?
I inhaled the air to get some pure, oxygen into my system so I could think.
Shoot two foes in the back, but this is not a time for me.
There is no rules for that. That is why I'm so concerned. I shot 2 men in the back tonight that I don't know if they were innocent or not.
I do not hold you in disregard for that act. For because of you and Rudy, I am still alive. What I will say is that a rabid wolf, although it does not want to be put down, sometimes it has
Well,
to be.
catch you later.
Even if it
Have a
is a
nice